Hey everyone, welcome to Zozo Anime. I'm your host, the one and only King freaking Kansas. Guys, the King has been through one of the most emotional rides ever on the planet, man. You can see I'm almost tearing up here, man. Anyways, guys, before I break down, gotta talk about some other little few things anyways before the King kind of loses his shit. Anyways, I'm here to do a anime TV series review called Your Lie in April. It came out in 2014. Wow, almost 11 years, 12 years ago, guys. It's TV 14, 22 episodes, about 22 to 23 minutes each episode. I want to give you some of the cast, guys, because holy shit, did they knock it out of the park. Cast, Natsuki Hanae, Risa Taneda, Ayane Sakura, Ryota Osaka, Saori Hayumi, Yuki Kaji, and Kayano. Hopefully I didn't butcher that shit, guys. Guys, I'll give you a brief synopsis of the series overall, okay? Okay, piano prodigy Kousei has been traumatized, unable to play ever since his mother's death. He has a momentous meeting with the violinist Kaori. And boy, did he ever, guys. Wow. One sec, guys. No, you know what? Go through it. Yeah, man. Sorry, guys. The King's back. Just had to take a little breather there, man. Too many personal feelings and all that shit. Anyways, guys, for a guy who doesn't like music in any way, I don't like piano, opera, all that crap, but that was just the musical backdrop to tell the story. You had this poor little kid that his mother was dying before his eyes, and yeah, his mother was dying before his eyes, and man, she wanted to make her kid the greatest pianist because he had an interest in it and stuff like that. His father is missing in action. I don't know what the hell he is, but whatever. And through her pain and frustration and knowing that she's going to leave her kid behind, she kind of like physically abused him and pushed him too much. He missed out a lot on his childhood, wasn't doing kid things. He had his best friend that was always there. You know, this girl, I'm telling you, wow. Baseball player, she kind of protected him, you know, be by her side and all that fun stuff. And yeah, like, he seemed to like influence a whole bunch of people in their pathways and careers to this competitions that they had all through these years and stuff like that. You find out a couple other people down the road that confront him and stuff like that, and they let their hate and frustration out, but yet they come around to him kind of thing because he got older and they didn't know the whole story behind why he was so like perfect in every way and was like kind of like a machine with no emotional feelings there. Then you got this opportune thing. What a way to introduce that violinist Kaori. The first time he bumps into her, she's in a playground playing music, trying to attract the pigeons to come down. So she's like kind of like out there, but she's phenomenal. Blonde hair, you name it, the works. Apparently he was meeting up with her through his best friend, which is, you know, the girl and stuff like that, because apparently another friend of his wanted to go out with this chick, but you find out later on that wasn't the truth at all. But as for the most part, he was there as a third or fourth wheel, just so then his friend can get together with this violinist, Kaori. And this one is so out of it, but then through friendship and, you know, kind of like a little bit of a hate for each other, love-hate kind of relationship, they kind of like slowly drew each other. It kind of like attracted each other very easily because of their music, right? They have that common passion. Of course, there's some jealousy on the side by her friend because she was realizing that even though she had a boyfriend that she really wanted to be with him, but he didn't see her the same way he saw Kaori. That's Kousei. A little stupid, a little bit with the boys and girls, you know, and stuff like that. But, you know, not his own thing because he'd been through hell, right? And then you had at one point, he kind of couldn't hear the keyboard, like the piano keys, the music, because he was haunted by his mother and what he'd been through and traumatized all those years. And then for her to help him break through was phenomenal. But the beginning performance, she wanted him to perform with him just to get him out of his shell to kind of like start playing again and kind of, you know, heal. And oh my God, her performance, she was a radical. Like she a rebel against what the notes were. She made it her own. People never stopped talking about her and stuff like that. But then I noticed one little thing, guys, like which kind of got me, and I'm like, you better not do this to the king. That's why a little bit heartfelt there. She makes a trip to. It looks like she was going to the hospital, but we never see her go in there. You know, little do we know that she has some sort of muscle dystrophy disease that, if you guys are not aware, because I didn't know what the hell it was. It affects your muscles and the ability to walk and all this stuff, and that includes your lungs to breathe and your heart. There's no known cure, but there is like some risky surgeries and stuff like that you done. And apparently she's been dealing with this the whole life up to now, but it seemed to get worse and worse and worse. And there was one competition she bailed on him, but we slowly learned the truth about her and how much suffering and how much in the hospital she has been and dealing with quietly, and to have this high spirit about life and stuff like that. To have such high spirits with stuff, guys. So I'm repeating myself. Sorry, guys. Yeah, like about life itself and, you know, the meaning of life and to live life to the fullest, because she knew her time was up and she kind of figured that out. She knew she was sick, but she didn't know how serious it was until she caught her parents kind of like breaking down in the hospital where she was. And she knew that she was on borrowed time and she wanted to change a good person's life, and she did. She got him to play. And his thing is he wanted to perform with her one last time, and he had this big competition to do, you know, meanwhile dealing with all these personal things, best friend who loves him and all this stuff and whatever. And she was preparing to go for this risky surgery, but it's risky because she doesn't know if she's going to come out of it. And she met him, you know, the day before up on the roof saying, you know what, a couple of days I think it was, that I don't want to die, you know, but I'm glad I met you, and all this kind words and stuff like that. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, they're going to kill this poor girl. Anyways, so she's on the operating table. He does his own performance, and they just had a nice, cool moment there that he knew she was gone. And, you know, you find out how many months later, snow and all, that he meets her parents, and they give him a letter that she had wrote to him before she passed. You know, she finally came clean about everything from the first time she met him when she was a little girl, and that kind of gave her the inspiration to pick up the violin and play throughout all this hell and shit like that. And you know how much enjoying this and stuff, and she didn't want to get in the middle of his friends and him, you know, and kind of tell him how she really felt about him, like she loved him, which I kind of figured out. She was always pushing him and encouraging him and stuff. And she knew how he felt, but because of these other people, she didn't want to mess things up because she wasn't going to be around, right? And she kind of pretty much confesses. That shocks the shit out of him. And yeah, and then there's a picture of her and the other two when they're younger, and that's what she gave him. And then, of course, the best friend meets up at the end. And yeah, I think as she's reading the letter to him, as he's reading it, she kind of like fades to black, and she goes, "Don't forget me." And he says, "I won't." So he continues on his path, sad and all. And, you know, you have his best friend there by his side that, you know what, eventually she's going to open her mouth. And she found the courage to kind of confront him near the end and kicked him in the shin and said, "You're not leaving without me, or you're going to be stuck with me," or some crap like that. And that was it, right? That was season 1, 22 episodes, and beautifully animated, guys. I'm telling you right now, for a guy who doesn't like music, this one hit literally the notes on every level. One of the most ones that really wrecked the king. I'm telling you right now. The other ones I've watched, like Suzumi and all this stuff, and Bubble and whatever I've watched, Dignity of a Fragrant Flower and Violet Evergarden and whatever the hell the king we watched. This one was a tough one because it was like a slow, gradual build, and you kind of knew the writing on the wall, like I did, but you don't want to believe it. You really wanted to think there would be some sort of miracle that this poor girl who was suffering all her life, that was trying to bring joy in the short amount of time that she had on the earth for other people. Because I think the characters were like about 14 or 15 years old, something like that. And like so much life ahead, so much to give. But people are going to remember for, you know, in spirit because of her song that the duet and stuff like she had with them. And to the people that she touched. You know, it was kind of sad, you know, to see her go and stuff like that. And it was like, damn, you know, like, oh. But it got the king. King got good, whatever the hell. Like, you know, you guys can see, I paused the video a few times here, and yeah, it just breaks your heart. But it was such well written. I'm definitely going to buy this and add it to my collection if I can find it. I don't know how much it's going to cost the king, but it's going to cost the king a pretty penny. I don't know where it lands in the top 10, but it's in the top 10 for sure somewhere. Don't know exactly where. I just got to let myself just come down a little bit because I literally just finished watching it about 5 minutes ago, or actually 11 minutes ago, according to the video timer here. But I loved it. Loved everything about it. Even the music didn't annoy me too much. I wasn't too keen with the piano. But I'm pretty sure if you're a music lover and appreciate opera, classical music, piano, and violinists and all that, you're going to enjoy this probably on another level. Not only for the story that you got, but for the respect of the music that was played in here and the instruments and all the dedication and the hard work and all that stuff and the competition between people. And it was crazy, but you know, but it also gives you a good lesson that whatever. And in the letter, that's what she says. That's why she lied in April, make this story up so she can get into his life, you know, because she wanted to change it and make it for the better and help him out, you know. And she goes, she's the kindest person. I can go on and on. Watch it for yourselves. Come back in the comment section below and tell the king what you thought. But that's my official Your Lie in April TV series review. Like, share, and subscribe. Check out my other reviews, guys. There's going to be a few other ones coming your way, you know, and we'll go from there. King, like I said, he's wrecked, but the king is still alive. He's still sitting on the throne. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm here until I'm not here. So anyways, guys, be the hell good. Stay off the king's throne, and I'll see you guys where? Right here on Zozo Anime.